team fight is going to be a bounce house. This is the bounce house composition. Welcome to the G2 bounce house, T1. Let's see what they can do about it. Honestly, I'm also pretty excited by the lineup here from T1 because they start out with Twisted Fate, so you know that Faker's going to be going to those side lanes early and often. So you want those aggressive side lanes. You point out Zeus does play the Kennen multiple ways here. Can go for the split pushing, have the Twisted Fate come to him, or can also bring in flanks and teleports to try and get that big AoE down. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Gumisha and Keria, this is the best bottom lane in the world. Yeah. So if you get them Rel Tristana and a Twisted Fate from mid lane to go for ganks down there, you can definitely expect some action. I'm really looking forward to it because T1's first game versus the Saigon Buffaloes, they got jumped on by Tristana and they got killed.
I think they took some notes.
Yes.
And thankfully, the tagline for this MSI is about taking notes. And so hopefully they did exactly that. Yeah, segued that one pretty well, I have to say. But we're ready to get into it. I think this is a very stock standard draft to come through from T1. I think we'd expect this throughout this entire year. They haven't done a lot of losing throughout this year, but it's not necessarily something that is crafted to take down G2. G2, however, have gone back to just let's team fight all the time. Let's be scrappy. Let's give Caps that playmaking champion in the mid lane. Caps has been absolutely unbelievable this tournament.
Yes.
This is the first time he's played a champion twice, actually, in the Yasuo being picked up. Over 8 games, 8 unique champions is pretty impressive, in my opinion. But going back to the Yasuo is his first one that he'll double up on. As here we are, onto the rift for game number 1 of the Rumble stage.
Woo! Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm so excited to get it started here, Atlas. The analyst has touched on the Caps versus Faker match record, which was 8-3 in the favor of Caps. But the overall team score of T1 versus G2 is slightly in favor of T1, 11-10 for them. Hello!
Hi, everyone!
We are here. We made it to MSI. High five. Boom!
We did it. We're not too jet lagged as well, so hopefully we're going to be able to keep ourselves safe.
We'll try and get as much harassment as you can down while farming up nicely.
A bit of an attack here on the bottom side of the map. Targamas immediately going to throw out the exhaust and gets exhausted as well. The flashes coming forward. First blood within the first 2 minutes is Flackett looking to go down as well. Keria just over 100 health, so he has to back away. But T1, yeah, it's a statement in the first 2 minutes.
Atlas, we call for it in Champ Select as soon as we see the Tristana locked in for Gumayushi and Keria. No hesitation there. They jump immediately in onto Targamas and get the kill. It was level 1. We were actually kind of talking in the car ride over. Oh, there's probably going to be a level 2 first blood. They waste no time.
Yeah,
and they get it here for T1 bottom lane. Again, this bottom lane has been absolutely exceptional. You know, Keria obviously getting the MVP in LCK, but Guma is basically a prodigy AD carry. So right here off of the knockback, Targamas actually goes in and he exhausts, but he immediately realizes the error of his ways and tries to flash out. So going aggressive there in onto Guma. There's no hesitation. The response from the T1
at least escape these opportunities for the Rakan.
Yeah. Just the bodyguard here. Meanwhile, of course, you saw it on screen, but we should mention too, Dragon stacking stops by G2. That was their payment.
There's the Magnet Storm as we are just going to pull back in Targamas. He's going to go forward though. It's Faker with the gold card looking to lock down Flackett once again, and the Callista will go down. That is 1 death apiece for the G2 bottom lane.
I feel like that T1 take over your map when they have a lead like this. That pace is greatly accelerated. Here's the engage. Keria, a huge engage there. But G2 had escaped, and Targamas goes back in as Faker arrives. And then Flackett's just caught in there with the gold cards. Kind of got baited in there for the extra.
Faker, but trying to keep him down is important. Faker now possibly in trouble here as it's a decent little catch there onto Jankos, who's just trying to get forward. And Faker is going to break his stopwatch. The teleport's coming through from Zeus, and now he's trying to protect his mid laner. But the last breath comes in. The ultimate's there from Zeus as well. No one's died just yet. Faker is going to be able to take down Targamas, but then immediately 3 kills. And now Owner is trying to chase this one out. Caps is in trouble. The heartbreak comes on through, and the resets are coming in. Can he find the next one? Yes, he can. He's down the Callista, and Broken Blade's in trouble. It's a triple kill for the LCK Spring MVP for the finals, and Owner will reclaim victory for T1 in the fight.
Damn, I love watching this kid play. Owner on the top lane, absolutely owning this game. A playoff that started out with Faker making the call early on. You can see from his movement, very early on the comms from T1 were, hey, come to me, we're going to outplay this. Then the re-engage from G2 actually looked good. They got a big wombo set up. It barely couldn't finish the other two solo lanes there, as it took them a little bit of extra time to finish them off, and that allowed Owner the last second. And look at these pickups, so close to dying, but then shield bow procs, gets to use the wind wall, ults back over, flash used exceptionally well as well, and forces the flash out of Broken Blade there with the full chase. But really, really nicely done from him to save basically the play for T1 there. Then Keria going through with his wombo, and Gumayusi, no hesitation on the rocket jump forward. Does result in Flakked getting the kill, and the ultimate...
Baron!
It was the Baron with the last hit. This was off screen. I didn't get to see how it happened.
We were within a replay of a rebase for Gumayusi. As Ona does take down that Drake. Keria now trying to get some vision over. He's spotted by Jankos here. He does throw the Q through. They're looking to just blow up one target, and they'll absolutely do so. The Call of the Forge God comes down. Faker's going to get knocked up as the gold card has been locked down. He's not going to be able to go golden yet again. Zeus is immediately being exhausted. Throws down the ultimate after it wears off, though. Does he have enough damage is the question, as Gumayusi relatively untouched, but so are G2. It's so much damage from the lightning, but it's not enough. Gumayusi going in, looks for the resets, but the knockups are there, and it was a bit too far for the young AD carry.
Yeah, there's one member left alive for T1. Zeus is on the run now. Jankos wants it though.
That is a fantastic lightning rush, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. Jankos going to grab the solo kill, theoretically, at the end there. Onto the cannon, and this is the team fight power.
On you. Just one person needs to touch you with a knockup, and then the chain comes through from G2. It's Jankos in for Caps, and normally you're like, what? Did they just use double ultimates on a support? But getting that advantage in the player count means they get to chase down Faker as well, and all of a sudden, even though they've used so many ultimates and so many knockups, they still have more left here. So Zeus comes in with the big ultimate, but they've only got 3 players left, and G2 still, with the stopwatches, able to finish it out. You know, Zeus able to get a decent amount of AoE down there, but Gumayusi, eyes get a little big as Tristana when you see those giant, reset possibilities. But again, G2 always have so many extra knockups. They have them for the counter engage there. Zeus and Guma trying to pull out some hero plays at the end, but unable to once the pressure gets close to them. So extra damage here on turrets means a lot for T1. There's the ultimate. They get to spread. All safety has been acquired for them as they start up this Baron.
Yep, Destiny's going to come through, used defensively here as Faker makes his way back to the rest of his team. Zeus on the flank right now, does have Flash back available, crucially. Great battle dance there from Targamas to get him out of the way of the stun as Keria goes in. Now it's his turn to try and find that engage. Decent knockback there onto Zeus, but he's going down low. Double kill for Jankos already in the team fight. Throws down the ulti, he's picked off Gumayusi, and team fighting this G2 is a mistake. T1 make again.
It is huge for G2. Atlas, they get just what they want. Broken Blade teleports into the middle of the river and dares T1 to engage on them. He dares them, and they fall for it. G2 bring home the clap. Quantum, look at this one. Teleport right in their faces, and Keria says, okay, fine, we'll go for the early engage. They get back to Caps, but look at Caps, there's no follow-up damage, so he sits the whole knockup just fine, untouched there, and then they're able to fire off. They barely get him low, but it doesn't matter. Targamas comes in, they shield him, they got the full pickup there. Flakked.
Top lane wave, he can't get there, because G2 could have been anywhere within their jungle, and there's just not enough vision. Destiny now going to be popped yet again, as now Faker over the wall looks to try and lock down Flakked, but he is going to be able to cleanse his way out of it. And now G2's reset up that phalanx to get control. Look for the wind whirl. It was so powerful last time for Caps, and it can stop Gumayusi from getting all of that damage down that he wants. Decent little stun there onto Targamas, but not going to take any meaningful damage. The Baron now once again down to very low health as they dive on in. Can they find the smite? And it's going to be taken by Caps of all people. Owner's now going to go down to his GA as T1 are looking to try and escape. Keria breaks his stopwatch, but he will go down as well. Followed by Owner at the same time as Faker's flashing out. In goes Zeus, finds a huge ulti, but it's not going to be enough. And G2 once again wipe the floor with T1 in the 5v5.
Yeah, they wiped the floor all right. They're going to chase down every last speck of T1 here. Faker running for his life through the jungle. Targuma should be able to get him there with the blast cone.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Faker here as he does lock the gold card, but it will wear off, and G2 are just hurting him.
Oh my.
These velociraptors or hyenas or something like that, there are definitely packs of G2 members here as Faker looking to try and get out, but he's going to get knocked up instead. And Jankos is going to be gifted the kill there with the to spend. And also, I don't think there's too much of a rush, because when you've won the last 3 team fights in a row and it hasn't been close, you're probably happy to take a 4th.
The smite was at 2K, but Owner wasn't in close enough to the Baron, it looks like. He barely got in range at the end there. I think the smite went down from him at like 1K. So there's a lot of damage there, and he got bursted down as well. Yeah, that was a funny chain of events. Him staying kind of towards the edge. Zeus goes in, but gets exhausted.
Yeah, the exhaust was fantastic this time around.
So not going to be a big effect whenever you have that. The biggest counter there.
Yeah, now Zeus potentially in trouble. Throws down the ulti here for himself. His owner's like, I'll try and help. No, I won't try and help, as he just gets himself the heck out of there, and I do not blame him.
G2 coming for the base, and they want to finish up this pressure. With 5 people, they can threaten the dive. Yep,
they certainly can, especially with Gumayushi still a little ways away. He's actually going to, yes, he does manage to complete the back, as the first Nexus turret is going to go down. Into the backline goes Carrier, but immediately he just pops like a balloon. And Broken Blade seems completely unafraid of absolutely anything. Eventually he will back away, but happy to tank for as many days as you'd like him to. T1 do deal with the minions, but G2 still want more.
If he fails, if he flops, he is one of the players on this team that cannot afford to flop, you know, as sole AP. And you can see it when he does well like this, like massive damage being dealt by him every single time.
Well, now we've got Carrier going in one more time. The Magnet Storm not necessarily the most pivotal, as the double knock-up from the Grand Entrance is fantastic from Targamas, and they tidy up both the Rel and the Twisted Fate. Jankos is going to have to flash away, though, as Gumayushi goes for a bit of an insect play, but he's now at 1 health and not able to participate in this fight. It's going to be G2 that now move towards the Nexus. This was theirs from about 20 minutes into the game. It was a matter of time, and G2 will remain undefeated in this tournament, and T1 take their first match loss this year.